This is a story about trying to join the dots from location A to location B. But what happens when those dots no longer connect? Imagine the setting. You're on the Isle of Man. For those who don't know, the Isle of Man is a small island in the middle of the Irish Sea. So, you want to venture to the top iconic hotspot for Manx culture. Let's throw in a folk museum. And it's not just any folk museum, it's the oldest open-air folk museum in the British Isles. Also, this is one of the Isle of Man's most stunning locations. Right, how'd you get here? Let's say location A is in Douglas, so let's grab that steam train there and head south. Portaran is close to Cregneash, and that's where we're heading. Cregneash is our location B. Okay, Portaran Station, here we are. Waiting. It's going to be a long wait because since 2024 there has been no public bus to Cregneash. This beautiful parcel of thatched cottages and stunning views is a microcosm of all things Manx. From the bonnock they serve up in the cafe here, to the Manx cat padding about the paths, to the traditional Manx costumes of the folk museum, to the rural crafts and skills such as spinning and weaving the Lockton wool. And on a visit on Lair Baldwin, Manx May Day, the wonderful Manx group Perry Bain were in attendance. Also, around the time of Hop Tuné, the Celtic New Year, folks gather to carve out turnip lanterns here. But that's not all. The Isle of Man has its own language. Manx Gaelic was the main language spoken on the island until the 19th century. The last native speaker, Ned Madrill, grew up in Cregneash, and it was in Cregneash that Ned met the Irish Taoiseach Eamon de Valera in 1947 at Harry Kelly's cottage. This proved to be a pivotal moment for the Manx language and led to the Irish Folklore Commission recording the last native voices of Manx Gaelic to preserve the language for future generations. Ned Madrill also helped teach future advocates of the Manx language, and it is now taught in schools. Cregneash is the candle on which the last flame of Manx Gaelic flickered and stayed alight. With all this going on, and this being such a monumentally important place for Manx culture and for tourism alike, why is there no bus to get here? And it's not the only place affected. Just a couple of miles down the road from Cregneash is the Sound, a spectacular location to spot seals and take in the views of the Calf of Man, a small island nature reserve. In fact, it's such a top location, the King and Queen of Norway were here. But where's the bus? Bus Vannin, the island's public bus service, axed the route covering Cregneash and the Sound because it was apparently no longer financially viable. But the reality is not that simple. The number of bus runs were reduced before the service was finally removed altogether. Potential passengers found the new timetable confusing or just plain inconvenient. In 2019, the service ran 6 days a week, but by 2023, buses only ran at weekends, 2 days a week. So if you need to catch a bus on a Monday, you would have had a very long wait. But that's not the end of the story. Meet Krista from Save Our Cregneash Bus.
Our group has a name now, it's Save Our Cregneash Bus.
A group formed to try and reinstate that vital bus route.
When we started this grassroots group in August 2024 last year, the first thing we did was petition. And the petition went really well. It got 2,030 plus signatures. The locals living along the road to Cregneash and the Sound need the bus as well, because many of them are working. And if they don't have a car, how do they get to work now? Retired people who can't drive anymore and who are not necessarily keen walkers. They used to go to the cafe at Cregneash or the Sound and have a nice cuppa and cake and get out of their homes. They relied on that bus service as well. And they've paid taxes all their life. Given all these facts, especially after those promises about the bus going again in 2024 and not fulfilling these promises, I must say I really felt, I can only speak for myself personally, but I felt cheated and I felt like they were pulling my leg, and that's a strong reason why I initiated this residents group, which is now called Save Our Cregneash Bus.
We caught up with the MHK for the area, Juan Watterson.
We are still there, we have a name now.
And MHK stands for Member of the House of Keys. That's the Isle of Man's Parliament.
It's really important that we get the Cregneash bus back up and running again for the people who live there, for the people who work there, and the thousands of people who want to visit there.
On the 27th of June 2025 came the news Save Our Cregneash Bus had been waiting for. The new Isle of Man Infrastructure Minister, Michelle Hayward, announced that the bus service to Cregneash and the Sound was to be reinstated. Running 7 days a week, the 8S service connects the Sound and Cregneash with towns and villages on the west and south of the island: Peel, Foxdale, Castletown, Port Erin and Port St Mary, plus the airport. There was just that official stamp of approval from the Road Transport Licensing Committee that was needed. The application from the Department of Infrastructure for the new 8S service was officially approved. And from the 9th of August 2025, the new 8S bus route is up and running. Cregneash, here we come. Thank you to the Save Our Cregneash bus group, true heroes of the people, for keeping those dots connected. If you enjoyed watching this video, please don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.